Bueno, como siempre es un gusto presentar a Mike Thompson, el vicepresidente de ventas para América de Stratus Technologies, y Ken Espiau, director para América Latina. Ya saben, siempre cerramos con la presentación más importante del evento Stratamigos. Nuestros amigos de Stratus Technologies, muchas gracias por estar con nosotros.
So, thank you, Mike. Thank you, Ken. Welcome again to Mexico. So, how's your trip? Very good, or
very nice? Very
enjoying
nice.
the tacos or not?
Love to be here in Mexico City.
Okay. So, here
JP,
to,
we're the only thing between the next best thing tonight.
Yeah, but they are very patient to know good news from Stratus, so don't worry.
We'll be quick.
Dice que es la última presentación, the last presentation before dinner, but we have a good time. I think we can show the good news from Stratus. So I have a couple of questions. Ken, of course, most of the experience of the Stratus servers, we have jóvenes. Ricardo, ¿me ayudas por ahí? Traigo un ruido en tu zona. ¿Sí? Jonathan, ¿me ayudas, por favor? Gracias. So, we are talking here about many of the systems in Stratus are in the manufacturing industry. We have systems in running power plants, nuclear plants. We have systems in the aeronautics. But most of the systems in the Stratus has sold is in the payments industry. So that's kind of our sweet spot, is the market that we manage the most. So what is happening in the payments industry, and how does Stratus is following that trend?
Well, that's a good question. So a lot actually right now is happening there. We're really seeing fundamental shifts in the payments industry there. Customer loyalty has always been key and the key metric for payments industry customers there. We're really now seeing that customer loyalty focused on the customer experience. The way to earn customer loyalty is providing a unique customer experience. And with millennials really coming up, the experience they expect is radically different than what it has been in the past. And the presentation, I'll elaborate a little more on that, but that's kind of in general what we're seeing.
So what is the trend there? You have, what are the challenges in that?
Quite a few. So what we're seeing at Stratus is the trend towards the customer experience now being the defining element. We're expecting to see a lot of companies that are not traditional financial services organizations, like Facebook, for example, who does a very strong messaging app. We expect them fully, probably within 2 years, to become the bank of Facebook, and they will handle payment functions. In China, we're already seeing WeChat, the popularity of WeChat, and that started as just a simple messaging app. Now it is the #1 payments platform in the largest country, population-wise, in the world.
So you have a couple of slides to share, or?
Yeah, we'll do one more question, and then I'll go through the presentation.
So, and then how does the Stratus fit in this new payments world?
Oh, okay. So, Stratus has always been, 38 years, we've been about availability. Well, now in this new customer experience world, if you can't deliver the experience the customer expects, then they simply move on to somebody who can. Availability now is more important than ever. It's the key to success. At Stratus, what we've always done is we deliver availability, continuous availability, but we do it in a simplified way. We take the complexity out of availability. And for our customers, our partners, that gives you a strategic advantage. And like I said in the slides here, I'm going to show just a little bit more. So let me start the presentation here. Oops. Okay. So kind of rehashing the challenges that we talked about there. I'm not going to read all of these statistics, but the key is in a recent survey with customers, what they've asked is 111,000 people there, what would you rather have, your wallet or your smartphone? And 50% of them said, I'd rather have my smartphone than my wallet. That is a huge shift in thinking for the consumer there. And it shows how critical mobile payments and mobile banking has really very, very quickly has become in the industry. Particularly with millennials, they are more willing and to accept and use mobile payments. In fact, they demand it. And they expect a single app to provide all of the services there. And I'll cover a little bit more about their expectations because it's quite unique, the fundamental changes that we're seeing. So millennials, with the changes that they're looking at, it's, you know, many in the industry now are saying, well, millennials don't like traditional banking. They want fine tech, they want new high-tech ways, and that's all that they're willing to accept. And I disagree. It's not that they don't like traditional banking, they just don't like the experience. And so as traditional banks move into this new app world and offer these services there, I believe the millennials will have the loyalty, especially if they can deliver a strong customer experience. Now, for our bank customers, this means thinking outside the box. You're going to have to deliver experiences like messaging, like emojis, like all of those things. You're going to have to deliver that inside of your banking app, which is an unusual phenomenon, but it's really what is coming there. Millennials like to be empowered with self-service capabilities. They want fewer apps. That's something most people don't understand. They actually don't want multiple apps. They want fewer apps, one app that lets them do everything there. So again, going back to a messaging app that now I can send a payment instantly through. That's what they're looking for. And the millennial customer, which is the fastest growing segment in the financial services industry, they are looking for the best customer experience there. They have less tolerance for downtime than any previous generation, where before a few minutes of an outage, a customer would simply try again. Millennials won't do that. If it's not working, if you're not delivering that experience at the moment they expect it, they simply move to your competitor. And that's a radical mindset change that's occurred. So with this understanding, what do financial services companies do? What's the key solution? Well, it's partnering. No one company can deliver all of the solutions that you need there to create the perfect customer experience. It takes a village, so to speak. It takes many partners there. That's one of the strengths of Moneta is they've really handpicked the top companies in the industry to deliver a powerful, compelling customer experience there. Speaking kind of with NCR, they're delivering their Omni payment platform there where they'll be able to deliver functionality like artificial intelligence and core banking services all from a single app. And your bank or your financial institution simply rebrands that. You don't have to recreate the world. You simply rebrand an existing functionality all built on the core authentic functionality, switch functionality there. That's a powerful time-saving capability there because time to market is key there. What you really have to do is be not necessarily the first, but one of the first to market. Millennials will shift as customer experiences improve. You have to be able to move with them. Again, partnerships are key. You need the right partners.
What is the Stratus paper in this? How Stratus is helping this customer experience? So how is Stratus helping the customers in that?
That's a great
You
question.
already had it.
That's a great question there. So what is Stratus? What's the value Stratus is bringing? Well, a lot in financial services there. So first off, the key understanding is availability is the key to success. If you're going to deliver a customer experience, at the core, it has to work. And that's what Stratus has done better than any other company for 38 years there. And that's what we deliver. And we do it in a simplified way. We don't have complex systems. You simply put it on our open standard x86 hardware, and it's instantly, continuously available there. So we, by delivering that kind of experience, we also deliver a robust product suite there. Starting with our FT server, which is our open systems x86 platform that is fully fault tolerant in every way there. We also have FT rack, which is our hyper-converged solution built on the compute node of FT server there. So when you need to go into large-scale organizations and large-scale infrastructure, we have solutions for that. Again, unlike our competitors in that market, which will all claim 5.9 availability, we do it with compute, not just storage. And that's a key differentiator. We're the only one in the x86 world that delivers continuous availability in compute, not just storage. And then Stratus has a unique set of software, our payments platform, that extend some of the most powerful switch platforms, including Authentic, in very, very powerful ways for availability and manageability there. So, and then partnerships are key. And what you're going to see in the next few months from Stratus is we are going to be partnering with some of the largest companies in the payments industry to bring a better experience for our customers there. Moneta is a strategic partner for Stratus there. And so that's one partnership that's always been key and will continue to be very strong for Stratus. But you're also going to see us partner with many of the leading fintech companies out there and deliver reference architectures, proven infrastructure technologies that we have these strategic partnerships. So those, look for them in the next several months. You're going to see a number of very powerful partnership announcements from Stratus there. And so that's kind of what we're doing.
But I know we have the strong technology, we have the best availability, we have the partnership with the leaders in the market, in the payments industry, and also in the manufacturing and some others. But these guys still struggle me that we are very expensive. Do you think that? You think that? Or?
I've never heard that before.
No. But
so I would actually counter with the fact that Stratus is the most cost-efficient platform to run your critical applications there. And you know, it's easy to say that. The proof is in the pudding. So let me show you some proof. And I apologize, some of these numbers are a little hard to read there. But when you compare Stratus with an Oracle rack solution there, and we have a couple of our hardware platform competitors, but you can pick any number of them, and the results will be the same. In order to deliver any kind of availability, you would need either Stratus or you need Rack, which is the clustering software from Oracle. Now, if you're using SQL Server, it's the same story, except it's Microsoft SQL Server for clusters there. Looking at it from a 5-year cost perspective there, and I know, again, I apologize, the numbers are small to read, but the difference is over $1 million in 5 years between our two closest competitors there in cost. The difference is you don't need Oracle Rack, you don't need that complexity, and you don't need the extra maintenance and support costs that generates there. Again, for Microsoft or DB2 or whatever database you're using, the story's going to be the same. You don't need clustering, and so you eliminate that cost. And so, you know, what I would do today, what I would challenge everyone here today is to talk to your Moneta account representative and ask them, how can you leverage Stratus to save millions of dollars at your company? Because I bet you anything, there's probably a database application or a new project that has slipped through the cracks that somebody's looking at clustering, and if you talk to your Moneta representative, they will be able to show you ways to save literally millions of dollars. And so my challenge is reach out to your Moneta representative, your account manager. They're all here, so now is a perfect time, and ask them, how can I do this? How can I save millions of dollars at my organization?
And of course, if we add to this graph the cost of not being available, you know, of course the advantage is on the side of Stratus. One last question, Mike. Of course, our friends always ask me, so how's Stratus doing? How's the world? How's the projects in Stratus?
If you're asking if how's the overall business,
Yeah.
and, I would say very positive. We're growing. We're establishing some new partnerships as well as we go. The one thing that I would give your audience today is Ken and I were at Money 2020. Have you heard of that? One of the largest payments conferences just a couple of weeks ago. And if you want to get a sense for what Ken and JP were talking about, the velocity of change that's going on in payments, I would highly encourage that you send somebody to that function next year. It was in a fun place. It was in Vegas 3 weeks ago. But you see how much change is going on. It's unbelievable, and it's crazy where this market's going to probably end up. That would be my answer.
Okay. Well, perhaps we have a couple of questions about Stratus, about your presentation. Somebody's, ¿alguna pregunta por ahí? We have one. Ahí tenemos un micrófono por allá. ¿Quieres decirla en español, en inglés? No importa, ¿no?
Hola, buenas tardes. Mientras que Ricardo de NSR nos comentaba que el uso del efectivo se va a disparar hasta 30,000, algo así, hasta el 2030, un porcentaje grande. Llegan ustedes y nos comentan que el medio de pago digital también se va a incrementar. ¿Hacia qué lado corremos? ¿Hacia qué lado nos vamos?
Okay. The question is that first, Ricardo from NCR told us that cash is still the most heavy use way of payment, and we are now talking that. Do you have a comment on that?
I do. And the answer is both are correct there. So what's happening is we're kind of at that inflection point where you are seeing the electronic payments there. It's the fastest growing segment of the market, and particularly millennials are adopting it in record numbers. However, that doesn't represent the entire market there. You will see for years and years to come, cash is still king. And so we don't expect that to rapidly change, but what we do expect, particularly for our customers that offer credit products and services, is that mobile banking, contactless payment, those kind of services will become absolutely critical there. But the answer to the question, at least from my perspective, is both are in fact correct.
¿Alguna otra pregunta por ahí? Acá de este lado, me das favor.
¿En qué sector del mercado es donde ven la mayor probabilidad de incremento de este tipo de pagos móviles?
Okay. What is the market segment where you see the most grow in the payments, in the mobile payments?
Definitely in these unified messaging apps there. We're seeing, like I mentioned in China with WeChat, unbelievable growth there. We also are seeing that in Brazil. There, we expect to see that very shortly in Mexico there, and we expect to see it in the United States. Facebook is already playing with this. They have a partnership with American Express where they have some chatbot functionality in their message apps. We fully expect them to set up their own switch very soon and handle the actual payment transactions through Facebook Messenger very, very soon.
he also asked about the market segments, right? You mentioned geographically, but also, ¿te contestó la pregunta o no, verdad? Porque decías qué segmentos del mercado, ¿no? What market segments more than countries, right?
So, as far as I'm not sure I understand which segments are we talking about.
Perhaps the
In industry, well, industries we see it being very disruptive in financial services. There, whether it's retail banking, loan processing, or alternative payment methods, meaning like prepaid cards. All of those segments are being disrupted by these new e-payment messaging type platforms there. So that's spread evenly across all those segments.
One more question, no? Here.
Considerando lo que mencionaban del efectivo y el uso de las tarjetas de crédito, ¿podría llegar un punto en el futuro cercano en que se decida que esta apuesta sobre los bitcoins y todo esto pudiera modificar las reglas de cómo se manejaría o del crecimiento de tarjetas, ese tipo de cosas?
Related to the cash and credit card payments, he also is asking if the Bitcoin is also something that is.
That's a great question. So Bitcoin, you have to understand fundamentally what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is your investment in other people's computer systems to process third-party data. That's effectively what Bitcoin really is. It's a payment for using other people's compute assets there. We don't expect that to be overly market disruptive. What we're watching very closely is blockchain, which is the cryptographic technology that was developed by Bitcoin, and the way it's a cryptographic database architecture that is very interesting in the financial services space. Right now, there aren't enough standards around it there, so I don't expect probably for the next 5 years to really see it come to market. But it is something at Stratus we're watching very, very closely. We do expect it at some point to mature into a production-ready technology there. So blockchain is probably the biggest of the two. The Bitcoin's more of a retail type area. Blockchain, we think, has a lot of commercial banking applications and like financial trading and stock trading, commodity trading. There's a lot of very strong applications for blockchain.
Okay, so you have to make a question to see if they understood your presentation, so they can have additional monetas.
Okay. So, in the customer service, customer experience world that I discussed, what is the key to success? What's the foundation you have to have? I'll let you pick.
Choose one respondent.
Okay. Availability, that's it.
That's
it.
it.
You have to be available.
You have it. Well, thank you very much, Ken. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Mike.
Of course, we have some Mexican alebrijes for you. Also, there was one person who made a question. Había una persona que hizo una pregunta que no le hemos dado sus monetas en esta presentación. ¿Quién falta? Allá. Y bueno, pues muchas gracias a todos. Como siempre es un honor tenerlos aquí. Those are Mexican alebrijes. That's part of our Mexican culture and traditions. And thank you very much for being here with us.